Everybody say, say, how can I express my gratitude? All the many things you've done for me. Words are not enough to say thank you. So Lord, you are my everything. You're my everything. How can I express my gratitude? How can I express my gratitude? All the many things you Father, you done for me, yeah. Words are not enough to say thank you. So Lord, you're my everything. So I call you Lord. Lord, my provider. I call you Nisi. You are my God. I call you Rapha. You are my healer. So Lord, you're my everything. I call you Jireh. Lord, my provider. I call you Nisi. You are my God. I call you Rapha. You are my healer. Say, Lord, you're my everything. Who am I thinking now? Who am I thinking now? Who am I thinking now? Oh, who am I thinking now? Yeah, so who am I thinking now? Who am I thinking now? Yeah, who am I thinking now? Oh, who am I thinking now? So I call you Jireh, I call you Jireh, Lord, my provider. I call you Nisi. You are my God. I call you Rapha. You are my healer. Lord, you are my everything. Yeah. Are you ready, everybody? All right, listen. William me ground, cover up. William me ground, cover up. Yeah. My life is in your hands. I can live without you. I can breathe without you, sir. I can breathe without you. I can move without you, Lord. I can move. I don't look like what I have been through. You turned my pit into a well. So the essence of my praise is centered on your grace. Adum, Wajum. I've been through a lot, but grace sustained me. My test is now a testimony. So the essence of my praise is centered on your grace. Adum, Wajum. It was you, my lawyer in that courtroom. It was you, my soldier on that battlefield. So the essence of my praise is centered on your grace. Adum, Wajum. Hey, Adumo, Yami, Adum. Tina Mitiasi, Ayawadu Tina Miwo. Lord, the essence of my praise is centered on your grace. Adum, Wadum. Hey, Adumo, Nyame, Adum. Aya Adum Tina Mitiasi, Ayawadu Tina Miwo. Lord, the essence of my praise is centered on your grace. Adum, Who has changed my story? Who has given me a song? Turn my mourning into dancing. It is you and just your grace. You have changed my story. Protocol breaker, you made a way. You turned my mourning into dancing. It is you and just your grace. Could not have made it without you. Hey. Could not have sailed through.
Yeah, we see a very assumes, you know, a sign Asia. I don't keke and ya don't yang na fi yenya bread. Say you know Asia a watch so the community and the law. If I were recruit friend porn, a very assume. Say you know a babidi a shenina you come for a day amount. Say pick up the page and share with others. Pick up the page and Facebook BWF Solicitors. And I think so pick up page na BWF Solicitors or Facebook and YouTube platform and also BWF Solicitors and any DJ na the all catch again say one yen A2 anamon ewo emremu yebasia.
Yeah, fema ye wo London. Ya ji abasobodie bebre. Ne ya redare ewo mransem. Eye legal services. BTC family law, matrimonial law, immigration, dispute resolution, Ghanaian customary, any family law. What BWFDA, yen solicitors, edi enijie ene chichaji wo, na ye buonso nyede kra. Yen partner penny pa, Bernardo Wusu aye lawyer ewo UK memo, bebru ifye du 29 years. BWF solicitors ukrawo. Inti se bane bushansem bi se child care eya bofrahwemu awaregya ye ho twuma mentwi ene ohye ana injunction ye de to domestic violence so a ye ma legal assistance ya edimo na ye adwumanso ye child care any family team no nimnia wo famu eweni ya wo breyimo enu ntini ye to ye mbo asima wafutu a esefata ewo kokoamu ye bie an office free juada ekosi fiada anopa nonkron pay mu ekosi enumre nunsia eye 9:30 am kosi 6 pm and na memene danso eye appointment nkoa free anopa nondu ekosi ewia no 9 eye 10 am kosi 4 pm yawo 4th floor ewo Anna House 214-218 Tottenham High Road London N15 4NP.
You na me koso adawase na makamfo ade amount say ye ne dodo na enche page no na yemra dwumedi so the community and the law ebi o ye frem oreku frem pon na me ne wa hie na ye de emramu nkomo a ehia pa no ade brewo say efa wasetene mu ewo UK ha say efa wasetene mu say opese utu anamo na obejoin yen ewo UK ha nyina ye bo ho enkomo ebi also so the make am for the amount and say opese obi eka wasem ma opese lawyer ni edi wachi na ye call ye court announce ye koka wasem bi amawa eno ye BWF solicitors or more number na ye 0208 493 7340 0208 493 7340. Yeah, live ewo Facebook se medical bo amani na live and so ewo about radio so ewo UK ha and I pay live ewo PAAM TV so and so ewo UK ha na ene question me baby sawo na fe we ya no ede amai anansa my parents ede amao eye can we ye betimi eden ene ye betimi eden ena ye ntimi enye ekwan be so ye betimi aye de ye betimi ena eden ye betimi aye abe avoid de ye ntimi no ene me wo ebenifo you know free BWF solicitors aseye and I think so you were young quiz near question no ye de ever bro na fe ye de wo edi jumano and in teacher time na fe young cop na fe memfa ebenifo a was what de yen etu yen anamo and e wodwumedi so no ye de ebrewo ebio efrem oreku free point na ene me wo ye yenu apani me senior a partner of BWF solicitors e wo menchen e wo ha say munima lawyer Richard ewo ha Lawyer Richard, a year partner, I will be BWF Solicitors, and I'm saying so. Would you be a hoodoo, any Muslim who are commanding in ano, would you more aquatinepa? Nene, or Nunkwa Amba, or Bano, or the Lord Mackenzie. My body Jean actual that say, Sabana say, who appeals any cases a hoodoo on the one on any aquaquota or no any demo Jumapa, and until Mobate Lord Mackenzie and Ka. Ebi also many about na mayeti ewo around that and also ade yen komo ahodo no ebebre na fe mo questions na enra it is so can be brave say oh oreku be yaro enye me na me yano wode beba no ba e bebo ama yano pepepe eno nti ma me ni kan na me nko me nia aye lawyer Richard na me miss say lawyer Richard say ye ti won ka chi na ene wa be apomo atese.
Well, I mean, senior, very, very good evening. My colleague is also very, very good evening, and welcome to our second hall here.
Thank you.
Nyame ayayadum, yenina yehu eye, yehu yepa, Bibiani yakase, yenina says this horrible pandemic. Semia, that's so inya enquiry, nyame abo yehu bany your colleagues, your clients, yente as in Bonibia.
That's right.
The Nyankopon say was so musa na and Saturday area so any was signed there about BPS we are doing very well, and then I hope that also so that we still look very, very handsome and young. I don't have to ask. Thank you for asking. We are doing very well. Now, Yemfa Akonya into Soma, a Tifonia for a very, very good afternoon, evening, morning, and depending on your location. Chai Cassia free, BWF solicitors Jumakum, a bread more, in lieu of our principal and co-ben. And we are coming to your homes, wherever you are in a car watching us to discuss a very, very important issue. Sometimes, when I say we are going to discuss a very, very important issue, it sounds like cliche because everything is important. But this particular one is very, very crucial because I suppose we all now are aware of the fact that 30th of June was the deadline to apply to the EU settlement scheme,
That's right.
which has now elapsed. The fortunate thing is the fact that Home Office, they have now watered down the restrictiveness of the fact that if you miss the deadline, you will become illegal. We have
it's right about because now everything was like okay, we are seeing in a band, EU and I say EEA national. Then and may what do I do? Meet me application be may application and farmer may decision in your mind and all those things. But say good news be about
yes.
Then I think it's good to say
we will start with a good news. I'm say the day before the deadline date, and that was the 29th. The policy be outside. We understand that some people may miss the deadline.
Okay.
But we are not going to extend the deadline. So they were quite resolute about that. So,
okay.
Deadline on my certain day, and they say or be extended. However, so to me, very good reasons in here when to me and your application before the 30th of June. Just tell them. So what I did was after the 30th of June, my applications what is the application form looking like? It's almost as another section with the EU settlement scheme application. It just says so. Application. The first question you have to answer is why are you applying after the deadline dates? So they provided about 25 tick boxes, which is great. So it's good news because they are understanding the fact that people would have reasons why they were unable to apply. So or more categorizing. So maybe because of domestic abuse, because of childcare, because of internet issue, that is technicalities, because you didn't know language. So it's very good. They are prompting you to tell them why you could not apply. what that tells us is the fact that they are really
Watering
being
down
lenient
stuff.
on that issue. So, and also I take one box I apply to you. For example, the no was application because we are EU national.
Okay.
But Nikuno no and to quack a crab bow into offer documents in the also on marriage certificate in Crampo.
Okay.
So as a lawyer, so bad. Na me busa say a den na odi gina so na wa your application na so say I want to see your marriage certificate. So unfortunately, because she could not provide the certificate, we couldn't do the application for her. Now, finally, it was after 30th of June. So I take domestic abuse. Why? Because Teresa, former prime minister, extended the definition of domestic abuse, whereas what they become emotional, financial, and never be psychological. Into yet a domestic abuse. Now a drop a box amount said. So we have to keep what is applicable to you. Explain into a bit more details. So, well, I mean, I'm not Papano or relevant sponsor no name. So I couldn't have applied. It was beyond my control. So we explained, and then Omaji Atum. And then I mean, who's Omaji Atum? So we EU settlement scheme application. Na we send it. We your fingerprints. Now more the certificate of application brewer. What that means or tells us is the fact that the application has been validly submitted.
Okay.
So you say to be okay, and therefore they will go ahead and decide the case. So that is the good news about sad deadline. No, you say, hey, good. Say your principal, a fascino also. Say Richard, your community no coco. Although because we didn't know they were gonna bring this down a little bit because it was very good set to share issue about because now situation whereby after 30th but we are not really getting that. So that is very good. So that what that tells us is that the message actually went through.
Okay.
So that is very good. But one.
As a member.
I mean, the gentleman be friend Mr. Boy. I know you are one person that offered written patrol now. So yeah, you said no. So we haven't. So I've asked him to come, and then patrol. So now no a quansa with my. Just tell us why you couldn't do it. We will help and expand the reason why you couldn't do the application before the deadline date. Na bibia be okay. And then common ankasa de mejama na wa
me bemo because you bet me aye dia ene na bia me come chikakra na mahwe and then me here say why the qualify so bet me aye because there were two deadlines, one the 30th of June 31st of December and the 30th of June. Sa ni me enu ni nyina abesen ko ebesen ekoye no almost extended deadline. Name there are some considerations.
Yes.
Okay, so in this case, and I'm happy, say, Ode, Lord Mackenzie, so Abba. In this case, when me apply, na say, and na say, was me appeal, what do I need to do it? And then I may share say, I can say, what we can do.
Yeah.
And then we're waiting here, and then my me and yeah. And I was force say, I feel, and now about joining, cultural say, and then, say, we EEA family member. Now, why are they question me a caveat to be a bishop relevant? And that is one of the questions I would be seeking answers to. The TBR, at the end of this program, you will have a valid reason for staying with us and also going to the BWF solicitor say or more because we can do it, especially as a spouse of a relevant EEA national. Which my application to enter. Leave to remain, or ye EUSS na omuhwehwa ye say yentiminya no ye betimi aye. Here for any new digibay a BWF solicitors member.
Yeah, fair man, you London. Ya diabaso body be free. They are reading our ransom of legal services, BTC family law, matrimonial law, immigration, dispute resolution, Ghanaian customary, any family law. What BWFDA, yen solicitors, edi nijie ene chichaji wo, na ye buonso nyade kra. Yen partner penin pa, Bernardo Wusu aye lawyer ewo UK memu bebru mfie duonu nkron 29 years. BWF solicitors kura wo. Inti se ba na busuansem bi ti se child care eya abofrahwe mu awaregya ye ho twuma mentwi ene ohye ana injunction ye de to domestic violence so a ye ma legal assistance ya edimo na ye adwuma nso. Yen child care any family team no nimnia wo famu ewe ne ya wo brei mo enu ntin ye to ye mbo asema wafutu a esefata ewo kokoa mu. Ye bie an office free juada ekosi fiada anopa no nkrompa mu ekosi enumre nunsia eye 9:30 am kosi 6 pm ena memene danso eye appointment nkoa free anopa no ndu ekosi ewia no 9 eye 10 am kosi 4 pm. Ye wo 4th floor ewo Anna House 214-218 Tottenham High Road, London N15 4NP.
Me da say ugusu ene yen ewa mabo wa manie ma kire baby a ubetimi afa na fe one BWF solicitors edi enkomo 214-218 Tottenham High Road no so but offer won ewo 0208 493 7340 0208 493 7340. Okay, now maminko discussion also now fi mene Lawyer Richard any young common not Cecilia because I need me dosukopa I'm diving deep into the discussion, starting from that definition, relevant EEA national. Omono deadline no echiomo 31st December, echiomo 30th June, announce at the same. Lawyer Rich, Mebacho, yeka relevant EEA national. Why yeka?
Senior relevant EEA national, simply put, is you name say EEA national. Obia or free one of say 27, 28, you're free. One of those 27 countries, you know, so Germany, France, Italy. So those countries, that is EEA national. And I say Switzerland, Norway, for no so the become kakra. Now the word relevant, you know, is now relevant because of set grace period, you know, about every year. Now before 30th of June, Nankebeka said EEA national sponsor. That is Obia or EU national obetimi afawa free Ghana and abroad and also obetimi sponsor amoatina kuma. So German, France near or Krumha. See a regulation 2016 definition na nanka EE national or ye qualified person under regulation 6 and just or ye juma or school or ye job seeker and or ye self-sufficient, you know. But under appendix EU to the immigration rules, you know, na ye chumu grace period, you know. To say relevant na bishim to say we EU national now work work continuous residence before 31st of December. So that is why the two dates you mentioned are relevant.
Okay.
Now this today the word relevant is going to be very relevant. Now,
strategy.
So to be first, you know. So now we're EU national.
Okay.
And now we UK. What's your continuous? See, because we UK. Last week we said me bahan visit 1 week at a hotel. May obia na may relevant. EU impact relevant EU national because now we need continuous residence in the UK before 31st of December. Okay. So relevant EU national will be before 31st. That is when the EU free movement actually ended. Oh, now we are relevant EU national.
Okay.
From 31st of December.
And also provide the evidence be sad time not now around.
So in order to evidence your residence in the UK before 31st, we are looking at just, you don't necessarily have to have work in the UK to be a relevant person. All that you need to show is BB to say, Bill, I would deal with sweaters now with Kruma. Normally, what Bakruma, Obeji NI is a very, very objective evidence just now with Kruma.
Okay.
So now when NI, now we already said GP, you have a proof of address. And now be a bank, and now the driver's licenses, and now will be bill. So anything showing that before 31st you were present in the UK with something. Because all shares is application now, so we'll complete here. Another question said, were you in the UK before 31st of December? Obeka said yes. Naka said, were you in the UK on 31st of December? So it's either you were here before 31st or on that date. Then you are a relevant EEA national.
Okay.
That is for the EU people. So, and Koma Yebedin in Nanu said, Ubetimi aye application abedjoine wo EEA relevant national. A good say, what they are starting who is a relevant EU national. It is a say now ya established say EEA national or relevant person you will be now before 31st of December. And there is a second element in that. Now I an EU settlement scheme application. So UK before 31st of December. Na yema deadline na ya ka ho 30th of June na application okay. And you know na massa qualified residence right no. And no application ti we EU national 31st ni chair na grace period up to June. Now why you EUSS application whether you have been granted or not no. It's not a problem because in himself last 2 weeks almost had accommodated the people said actually said why your application no. Now, when your certificate of application, you are deemed to have done the application, although you have not yet received the decision, which is good, because then it would have generated a 3434 number for you to evidence that you've done the application. That is great. So, EEA relevant nationals near Obia now before 31st December 2020. Now, why any EUSS application, whether your man decision and I am man decision. Or no na you be obey me as sponsor. I'm what na krum ha and as well follow free. I'm abahasi.
Obia or ye nibusiani keke and nasa ne hukani. Which ones do qualify? The intia mami be sasa no EUSS semi by say mumu who say there be an amini uncle am say a cost rate because a extended family member. And now say immediate family member on Kwan and a sa KDT qualifier.
So who is a family member now under the definition of Annex 1 of the EU settlement scheme, Appendix EU no? A categorized group beer you consider so only EU nationals family members at the moment. Before 31st of December, Nanka you can family members and you have two groups, extended family members and close family members.
Okay.
Unfortunately, say you were only one group. Close family members. Now, Appendix EU, a definition, close family members. So your sub groups, your spouse, and your children, your parents, grandparents, grandchildren. Now, and then come on to be focusing on spouse. Because spouse, also have branches extended to other people because all your spouse are and relevant national can also benefit from EU.
So about I qualify. Okay.
So we will focus on that more. But in general, family members at the moment under EU appendix, a close family members that encompasses a spouse, children, grandchildren, parents, grandparents. So ascending or descending order, it's a way EU national, we a man, Bema, Nasa, who worry. A spouse who are a year or ban so close family members in now will come under the same as on no EU national so the close family members. Nice, I might double kind of like imitating.
Obi baby say then she says advantage set mean kind of sa Nina ewo hodada and it no more high adwina komu janku na you free you move fine obi amfa amra and now say deadline nti I was here a year within a period.
It's very good you are bringing this up, senior, because you see sometimes you'll be thinking, okay, so then if still now you meet my application now, so what's all this about? Now it's cutting the surpluses, because of course to say yeah extended family members.
Okay.
So we because extended family members no community harm. I'm sorry, be a boss and then and then so nieces, cousins, and nephews, uncles, all those people. Nanka before 31st of December, no more to me, yeah, you are free.
Okay.
So that is very good. Now, one of the major reasons why to be a free European Union.
That's
So
right.
also take control of their borders. Now we know that before, with the family, there's no number or a cut it. But say it's cutting because first of all, yes, it's so UK have now 31st. No one your application, you are out. Ultimate application. Although say you mention good reasons why you
can do that.
Technically, if you did not submit an application under the EU settlement scheme, you are out. If you are in the UK, that is controlling immigration.
Okay.
So they are achieving, whatever they aim
Yes.
to achieve. Now, so what fear? Now, with the definition of family member, your spouse here. One of the areas that it may emma enipa bebree eba kroma because so the kind worry oba ewo Ghana. So oba no so close family members can come here. Now with the new law, not definition of a family member, and say a family member in terms of spouse, obia were contracting marriage before 31st of December.
Okay.
We are in July. It is says so obi EU national. Now more person worry, worry. Ghana, Bibia Kama, a certificate abroad. But June, you cannot apply under EU SS because although you are a spouse, a partner, under immigration rules, you are a partner, but you cannot apply under that EU certificate because unless that marriage was formed or was contracted before 31st of December. They are achieving something. They've managed to really cut a lot of people from coming within the definition of family member and also apply.
There's Obia or ne aware won share said na before December 31st, 2020 na mo kind of worry ye ho arrangement to ho ye a date way and am enti quote and code worry to ho a ho mfa so no ebeba as one worry am fan to ho na worry and ni nim na abusiafo anya ntum eninka temoni ade before 31st or after 31st December na dia na ubetimi amba even though nipa no relevant EEA uba near your application na ebeye as a spouse of obi a oti krom ha rather than the EU mrana ye.
Okay, so you share 2 dates be say first of all adia me person for taking note in say sad deadline date is only applicable to people already in the UK.
Okay.
I'm say also you're taking note of
that.
Say,
okay.
Start deadline date na yaka wasem ni nyina no one owo UK ha and they say na also your application before 30th. It is what worry we ba we maame o what's we application before 30th. But so we maame we ba we now we Ghana you can still apply and join your family member if the American say is applies. Now our so marriage certificate now into the evidence of relationship no on say ye beka customary marriage ho asem wo krom ha na wo hia be manana oba na maware wo Ghana because went man ko because yen say krom ha na ware no wo be man notice ne nema na Ghana ho opportunity normally ne na use customary marriage so you use Ghana as an example. Now there are 3 types of marriages that are recognized in Ghana. So number 1, customary or traditional marriage.
Right, okay.
Number 2, the ordinance one. Number 3, Islamic or Mohammedan marriage. Now, so our 3 are legally recognized in Ghana. Yeah, common. A very normally a customary marriage, the traditional one. Sa our senior. Say any spontaneous because and so ushia madam na was when not atena for some time and about 2 years ago oma ifie den sanko home the family and no performing all the necessary rights and aware and mouth and now at that time nothing really prompted you to do anything but one man what say program we are no to say actually, yes, so worry EU ni krompa. Utimi jano sutina kroma me ma okrata. And I could lawyer. To be whom yen, and ye catch to say, what's worry, mammy, and then it's just worry. Me ma kofi. And last 2 years, 2018 and 2019, I'm yes, I did.
Okay.
Makara said, I need the evidence so that I can put in application for you. Now, what free fee say, uncle, our rena mojima me pacho, yes, it mean register. Na me find evidence of my relationship no my warrior. So they will go to AMA or
TMA,
Municipal Assembly
TMA,
and
whatever.
register that marriage. Bear in mind that if a local authority is registering your marriage, they will not that date now will register na a very reflective marriage certificate. And typical example, Mawari 2019 June and July and Obi lawyer now say register our marriage and now find application. The column that says when married, will state that you married in 2019.
Okay.
But
the registration
all the stamps marriage certificates will show July 2021. So last week, a very, very nice caseworker be a friend about one of my applications. Was it Mr. Nkrumah? I'm considering one of your clients' application as a spouse. I see that he married in 2019.
Okay.
However, I've got a letter from the authority that issued the certificate, which is dated April of 2021. I also see on the marriage certificate that all is stamped in April 2021. Please, can you explain as to why this discrepancy? I said, no, don't use the word discrepancy. There's no discrepancy in that.
Everything is in order because I think you're worried that they say you register.
Yeah. So you can see that we are educating them, and very soon they will get their head around this.
Around the whole thing.
That is why we are advocating that you should go ahead and still do what you have to do and put in an application because it's not cut off if you get it right. Now, I told him, I explained to him that the marriage took place. The marriage was contracted in 2019. However, upon seeking legal advice, he needed to demonstrate his marriage, the relationship, and therefore ask family members to register the marriage. And until that date, because of said authority, issue document, they cannot go and put a stamp.
Backdate it, yeah.
So the dates on the certificate with the stamps and the letter are not relevant. The relevant date he should be considering is the dates my client married, which was 2019. I said, thank you. And then 2 hours, decision came granted. So you can appreciate the fact that when we come and say it works, it still works. Just get all your the necessary requirements met. So what I'm saying to a T4 is say, me pacho, yenkasa kuchantro say, wawari no, tete but so many mkomana yedi muni na moti asiye me pacho say which year will be nasa one na before December mo worry na emu no amba wa dream so be register worry na me pacho ubetima ko register date na worry na ye before 31st. Don't worry about the stamps and any letters no this year date what the brain that is one test met. Because there are 2 tests and also meeting say me I successful your application first and then okay, 1 test and once be sure so marriage genuine. But now you have to also show why you are applying late. And once what me I will marriage certificate na a year before 31st of December. Now what the other now what evidence I just said now we need penalty before then so maybe your TV license whatever it is now it shows say before that date now we come her and answer na any penalty. Now what said into I want apply so before 30th of June. You better one so now reason I expand the amount. So if we are able to meet these 2 tests now, then your application can go ahead and succeed. So that is why we are saying if you are here, it's not late that you cannot apply. You can still because my mom said maybe you put the topic out, so I've got about
I know.
Can we apply? And I said yes.
Yes, you can apply.
Yes, you can if you get the dates and everything right. More fear, no problem. I did test back pen CMBT. I also sponsor an irrelevant person. Now relationship so we back and answer mamia. Relationship was there and nothing ever for me. So it was there before 31st of December. Therefore, you are inside the category said with me about joining relevant. And when I say EU national now or year the settlement scheme now over evidence and no hanum or no akasano no ha before 31st. What that means is that he has secured the EU right for all of his or her family members. So please, the EU law is still there. The EU settlement scheme application is still there. You can still apply if you do your homework very well.
To say me record the Lord ho na maybe so because but mami enkai was say afi and wa join ya we share the community and the law. You're live our Facebook BWF solicitors. You're live our YouTube and also so BWF solicitors. And afi so you're live about radio so our UK and afi PAM TV so our UK ha. Na the door na was so let's know what very good. Covenant Grace, Yami in Charles and so and you were in Gagaba Lovia. We are no watch break. And Anahima Sapon was for and I was say thank you very much. You were video Mensa. Good afternoon, everyone. Also, Nadia, the Abatumo, Ade, no, so and you were. Dorcas Adum, the best of all. Thank you very much. You were Nana Himasapoma Bodin, Sansoso, and you were Emmanuel Quay. Also, oh my good afternoon. More about radio so and I didn't know. Question is no consensus, no obit me at all a day a brain a war 07950. 422-780, which means so a year voice note now or day a brain 07950 422-780. But we can form ourselves BWF solicitors now or the when he at North London, Seven Sisters a year tube station net top 0208-493-7380 0208-493-7340. Richard, mami ensign and browse again. Maybe say application no one my good examples ya obidie amano atomuye case worker and tiasia utimi afro lawyer be any friends anyway say application ko tomua. Obviously, the Ubibisa and say time frame of being and now waiting any decision. Is it a normal 6 months? And now say maybe a relevant EEA national. Mississippi Miami EUSS application. And this me who can need and now say an air spouse. And who can need a cocotumacy and famana. How long would it take? Or can it be refused even at all?
Okay. So that one is in-country application. Normally, so we UK now your application be a home office apart from point-based system applications. We are students and answer we work at those ones. They are in 6 weeks. So make a decision. But family appendix, from the EU, the end we patch up. Your expected, service standard.
Okay.
Legally, so paragraph 34 of your immigration rules now. I can't say home office for no. I tell you how I'm making decision consideration and the time and everything.
Okay.
We take that to be 6 months. That is the maximum. 6 months. Now, minimum the home office for no. Oman how EUSS application. Not more attractive. We will aim to make a decision within 6 weeks. I don't even understand why they do
because
that.
They can't do it.
They can because once they put application now. Normally, this is how it works. The definition of when application is submitted and data will call online or submitted. And the young lawyers need to start county form data and submitted online. But technically, home office for they are almost starting from time of fingerprints.
Okay.
So it could be any date in the future from the date you submitted the application. Nonetheless, 6 months. But say and some air first, about a month ago, now Uncle Ben, how so application acha the also way. Or maybe brave such prayers protocol complaints, calling them, writing them, and all that. Now, say we sad and no more catch or say, apologize. So no, we come to no
apologize.
Why? Sorry. When it's a pandemic, we are overwhelmed with applications, and also because of the deadline, we'll be able to meet it. I mean, Mark would testify this. It drew a point to be a recent CA application for EUSSR. We have to even join a queue before we can even apply online. That is how busy it became.
Wow.
So imagine that even applying, you have to join a queue, let alone considering the application. And because of set and Ubia yes application, you might see the royal boy and into Ubia yes application on me for. And into the name Mr. Mackenzie Abano applications no a check pass say.
Okay.
You might home 6 months. First, nanka weeks and about months. To say you who say omu omu kakra. Nti me pacho so we application no chrome ha as a spouse under EU settlement scheme. Ma hu be if 3 months e kono na start how lawyer kakra pacho less than 3 months in the year mamun how because it's expected. The good thing is so we application now we certificate of application and that is best. What that means is that your application is valid, has been accepted. You can use that to work and show your residence in the UK whilst your application is still pending. And so when you CO in a certificate of application, don't worry. Then you make a decision because the aim is say your pre-action protocol crana. Almost like standard letters. Now more now we apologize because of that. So Yahoo is really being diluted at the moment. And we don't want to use that too much. Complaint to 24, 28 days since but they make any say me pacho application is check but then and on the interview no so but me pacho so your flow interview don't worry say my clients be great say they will all bear witness say interview and yet say first and I'm Liverpool you may put someone 7,400. It's a video they will just look at your address na ya mo call baby a ben na video will be able to say 1 or 2 things about mo ho ne time mo share ye wo questions e be busa ye de be cover letter and no one I'll call interview na almost say ye be busa we would prepare you and all that name ye sanima we na something happened and your application was refused. Please don't worry at all because making an application in the UK to regularize your stay here, it compasses doing the application and maybe it being refused. Then you would have a right to go to court to challenge that decision.
Okay.
So say you
EEA relevant person application come as a spouse. Say if you see do they naturally give you the right to appeal?
Yes.
And now say now more lawyer for more strategy now quite be so actually see between appeal.
Well, so the fortunate thing is that I have not seen any EU SS application being refused and not given right of appeal.
Okay.
Salad trouble say will be extended family right of appeal. No, because they are all close family members. So to withdrawal Act 2020 now sharpen this EU now. It gives a reason and a way for you. Under normal immigration rules now. So we in 2002 Immigration Act now section 82 no ma obia right of appeal say human rights or say EU settlement scheme application and the EU settlement scheme appendix EU now so ma rights of appeal. So we application whether Home Office is alleging marriage of convenience or almost a relationship, maybe a marriage certificate and a birth certificate, a fake, whatever, they will still give you right of appeal. So they cannot reject application and say you don't have a right of appeal. Now, what I was worried before, which I'm now no more worried about, is so application after 31st of December. Now relationship and start before then. It is all sure. Me were 2 appeals and then your point lady was it or a sister to need brother or EU relevant person, but she didn't know, so she put in an application under EU settlement scheme in February. What that means is that now we're out because we're extended family member, so she couldn't have applied to the EU settlement scheme even in the first place. But she didn't know she applied. Was sending decision number, Mrs. Here. Me ready, Home Office did not mention the fact that she wasn't under the law to have applied. All that they said is that they are refusing the application because she hasn't shown dependency. So as a lawyer, in himself, so I know the grounds, the reason I would refuse application in the court. If Oman can say, or meet requirements, say we extended from them, but no, say Oman assessing application, there was no need to interview you, but we are not satisfied that you are a dependent because the documents that you submitted is not enough to satisfy us with that. Good. We are appealing against the decision because they gave her right of appeal. We will appeal against the decision. We go to court and we are going to fight the limited grounds for refusal and nothing else.
Okay.
If Home Office were to bring on board on the day that, well, because of NEA 2002, all things can come up at the date of hearing, we will say we're sorry. Then you have to revise your refusal for us to rebut it again because you cannot just ambush us in court. It is so sharp. Even though say a relevant person to apply under the scheme, no apply, so now you man right of appeal. To see a case appeal, right of appeal, mean having because me were experts in the house to really talk. just take us through the whole appeal process.
Me, Lord Mackenzie, me da say, be a me bodra office on the desk is when say he does a lot of preparation for the files to be ready to be sent to court, and me Jim Free but he prepares people. Sometimes look Mackenzie, I say one corner because me want no phone so prepare will be at the nako. Mr. Mackenzie, at say good. Say ye court appeal. It was true. One. Two, a day na I was set nipa ye appeal a man or no. What do you take the person through?
Oh, okay. Me that say yeah. Well, lawyer and I made that lawyer Richie Susan say or the me program is so.
That's right.
Many that here for and then the first day Mobeti Lord Mackenzie.
That's
and
right.
I said Mr. Mackenzie.
Yeah, the Lord.
Lord Mackenzie. And they made that OBS, BWF, Lord Mackenzie, Obesha appeals, BPR, so come among and see. You refuse you and answer one negative decision from a case worker, and answer from entry clearance officer from Ghana and wherever. We say, don't panic because we have everything in place, very good expertise in place to help you through the appeal process. And see, me can say a decision. Who your application first, and your decision, negative decision, and let's say immigration rule and the EEA rule, whatever. If it's immigration rule, sometimes you look at it whether it's an appealable decision or not.
Okay.
Then if it's an appealable decision, would you brayer look around everything and says what is the ground of the refusal?
Okay.
Which lawyer Richard will look at, or any other lawyer or any of us can look at, and then we advise you. So if it's an appealable decision, from there we do our grounds of appeal, and then lodge the appeal for you.
Okay.
Sana started process. And from refusal, then we
and he said obi court appeal, you know what you do.
Yes.
But a day in preparation and nipa here so obey. And the documents or the more from the beginning of the application on was also sending in number. And now say be a reason cry the refusal no intino. We be here a further document be a much any pakra na citizen.
Yes, yes. Yeah, been here a free panel and he said, okay, your lodging appeal amount. Sometimes at the time of lodging the appeal, say your document full for appeal no one. We add all to it and lodge it. Okay, mommy make it this point, which is very essential. And it's first appeals. Then manually on paper.
Okay.
Okay, that is all other decision. Every other decision we do it on paper. and CCI Nyamia Yadom say HMCTS, which is Her Majesty's Courts and Tribunal Services. Mama, all law firms say, obey to me a register account on their portal.
Okay.
And we can lodge appeals online now, which is faster and more convenient than the old regime.
Okay.
So yeah, lodge appeal no online, sana. Whatever information or further documents, yes, you can advise the person, say, now we add it to the grounds of appeal, and we can send all straight away. But again, what we have to prepare the person to, again, is the appeal fee you have to pay, which is 140.
Okay.
Sometimes clients to make say that they confuse that with metia lawyer ni kadada. Lawyer ni charge me metia ni kanyina man. Me say media me train me court date. And tisa.
Okay.
And another thing, so I want to tell a TA4 and then they say, as lawyers, you don't pay us, you don't transfer money into our account. Say we should pay the court fee for you.
Okay.
So sometimes what we do is say we phone them, say your logic appeal now, me freo, say me pacho, me logic appeal, and the bedroom baby I say me intia, and me pacho your card ready. Na minji your card na mintia, my mouth. And let's
just say the distinction here, and that must be very clear, sir. When you lodge an appeal, you pay the appeal charge to the court, not to the lawyer.
No.
And he said, lawyer na juma na o ya ma ono, or lodge appeal ni we ni ade a fe na will be here for the lawyer's service.
Yes.
And he also be at here says 140 ne die e court no ho. Whether the lawyer did it for you or you did it yourself, you would pay the £140.
That's correct.
Until lawyer na charge ni at the end of the day, a tree and na ebeba. At what time do we know, say, so I charge you say na lawyer be charge you?
That time, maybe a time I would do decision, no. A brought lawyer, no. Lawyer no take instruction from you and advise you. That's the point.
Court fee say, me charge you say, in total, you say, but 140 ne dey court. I want us to stress that point.
Okay.
Sa 140 ne dey, and call lawyer be able to.
Not all.
Court no ho.
Court no ho.
Okay. Richard, mami, it's a very interesting question. As I say, the issue of fee waiver and a home and kekaho. Bibacho. Se mini 140 na meet me akokota and say they know nkoyo.
Exactly. I mean, same as yetimi fee waiver, same as yetimi fee remission, and so in relation to appeals, it is we appeal against a home office decision. Na unisika untimi to you better assess it. So maybe you are not working, so there's no way you could have the means to pay. Now the 140 fee for oral hearing.
Okay.
But person court now person judge make a decision based on papers and the documents and they'll be £80. And £80 for appeals that are done on papers, and then 140 for appeals.
Which one would you advise, Ebe?
Please go to court and talk to a judge. I mean, senior, if we know be cheap man, so now what sure then something go paper so, and then the documents and all that, bro. We did a case recently. My very, very competent barrister died. Mark prepared a bundle no be conference before the hearing. It got to do with birth certificate genuine. Now the man ono matu ne unfortunately Ephraim ono national person but DNA. You see, there was a reason behind why we did not do a DNA. We said, we all know the problems with DNA and all that. Well, the last thing he wanted to do or to deal with is to do a DNA and signs telling him that the children may not be his. So I said, you know what, we're not doing a DNA, okay? But when we submit this application, almost 70% chance the application will be refused. So, me catch it. Because minimum say birth certificate na near the kono nansaya na okoji the passport. But I didn't want to put him through that emotional because I know what could, although he's confident, but I didn't want that. So you will refuse court. Now my council, we have a meeting and then we agreed that we will have, of course, oral hearing. And this is important. When you are weighing whether you should have a paper or oral. It's even but will be on your oral. It's very good. Now, this was on a video, not even in person. The man made a submission. Fantastic.
Brilliant, fantastic.
Or started from Tama OBT Mameno. They were childhood sweethearts. And omo engineer or no koye juma civil servant no so two kwan maame no hwe mofra na sadly cancer maame no frim ono okofa ne mana maame jomo no ne maame no ne reneti ase no and am so oye juma kama wo Ghana nti na there was no need for her to join it there be an papa no the coffee sa no omoba papa man ne frim and kra na affect her emotionally into okoso on amofra no baba dwen no ko university wa I didn't know if o catch judge and said. So Judge, look at me, so children 18 and 21, I had the privilege to bring them when they were very little because I'm EU national. So can you tell me that 18, 21, if the birth certificate in Amedia Bano, and yet one can say January, but must have been register, and the moon to mean you as a relationship of evidence. And Marsha and Mofra, ya woman, with the birth certificate. So are you saying I should do what? So the way that the man made the submission and you see a man sharing a bit of
emotion.
So the judge said we should just adjourn and reconvene in 50 minutes. We came back and the judge said, Home Office Hope so Oni Assembia can say apart from the fact said the birth certificates were not registered within 1 year of the children's birth there. He has finished with the case. Hope say Oni Assembia can. Case closed. I reserve my decision. I will send a determination in 2 weeks. 2 weeks time, we have a decision appeal allowed. So imagine that we did a paper appeal and we've done all this long writing. Not judge or one of those ones. They always say these things. So you see the difference. Typically, you bring a bit of emotions into it. The judge will be looking at your body language. Yes, so our way is fake. Or it's a marriage of convenience. Oh, yeah, appeal. Now, what show long witness statement? Oh, there can evidence who no sena kuma judge or redia your profile fakomuye. Because the way you are using the words to tell your story may not even come across as what you wanted it. But when you are telling him or her, they will know. Interdependent, you place all the time 140, 80, but it's a strategy. We have done appeals on paper because it was a strategy. For example, appeal be sponsor no say on court. Okay. Now, technically, if you present the case without a sponsor physically present, that's gonna weaken your case. We would elect to go for paper. So everything we do, we have to really analyze.
So strategy, Nadia, I will never take it away from you. I was going to say, I feel joining BWF solicitors in 24 and anyone, our Lord Mackenzie, special case worker. My sister will appeal no. Say Ninsaka no prepare na year na ufiade. Anyway, I was here for lawyer Richard and Bodu and Chroma and so and I said he didn't make change me na RBN. Sanso so and many about na my team. Questions, concerns me budget na fe yababidi and como. Time flies when you're in good company. Me try my name say, hey, Papa, my name Yakasa. Yabeka about 3 hours na me for most of some contribution the questions and they're very relevant. Make I was away live our Facebook BWF solicitors and live our YouTube and also BWF solicitors and live our Abawa radio so here in the UK and it be also PAAM TV so our UK. When you link na bomodia share in your network na ubia ensa and kabidi hunkomo and I said, did you know you can still apply for leave to remain in the UK or enter the the UK as a spouse of a relevant EEA citizen. Se unima lawyer Richard ama yehunu senia esi etie. Enti number no active to say 0208-123-1016. 0208-123-1016. And I say we send the text and the WhatsApp at the abraying mobile number no so 07950 422-780 07950 Me mampeni for yi anumusio in a minute. Now, when we come back, we're going to have Na Mayete on the set where we will be picking some of your questions outstanding war during the week. Kaise, the various programs ebrewo did kind BWF solicitors in legal hour Rainbow Radio so and free legal advice GN Radio so and also legal hour and Saturday at 12 noon lawyer Eunice sits out and hang out with Vicky our Heritage TV. So then we round up everything at 4 o'clock with the community and the law, all brought to you by BWF Solicitors.
Yeah, fair ma ye London. Ya diabaso body bebree. They are redare e wo ransom. Legal services, BTC family law, matrimonial law, immigration, dispute resolution, Ghanaian customary, any family law. What BWFDA, yen solicitors, edi enijie ene chichaji wo, na ye buonso nyede kra. Yen partner penin pa, Bernardo Wusu aye lawyer ewo UK memu, bebru mfie duonu nkron, 29 years. BWF solicitors kra wo. Inti se ba na ebusuansem bi te se child care, eye abofrahwe mu, awaregya ye ho twuma mentwi. Any oshe an injunction yede to domestic violence so a yemma legal assistance ya edimu na yie adwumanso yen child care any family team no nimia wo famu eweni ya wo breyimo enu ntini yeto yembo asema wafuto a esefata ewo kokoa mu ye bie an office free juada ekosi fiada anopa nonkron pa mu ekosi enumre nunsia eye 9:30 am kosi 6 p.m. and na memene dan so appointment nkoa free anopa nondu ekosi ewia no 9 10 a.m. kosi 4 p.m. Your 4th floor ewo Anna House 214-218 Tottenham High Road, London N15 4NP.
Okay. Yeah, you're saying about Bill Abusian say o ne Asia Sabria na the community and the law and war. Now your BWF solicitors in penny for and come more and then what me who say the TBI to me a year application, especially we relevant national with me at the where and also spouse or send you back can say mo for about joining a war UK in country application and Richard Amaya ATC. Now answer my question. Lord Mackenzie, miss a quick question. We answer your extra questions and so on. Answer your picking phone calls in the be. Mechia me 140 at the Amak quarter. Dabain or Modi me call date by me.
Okay. Yeah, very good questions. Webisame. Etfo sometimes etfo to me ebisa omo frey omo to me my maybe pressure kakra say my lawyer appeal lawyer our lawyer appeal ya babe be 3 months ago 2 months ago na da bena me call date beba o sika no de metia da ba up to now it me call date number okay yeah pese culture etiefo say we don't manage the timetable for the court.
Okay.
Say o lodge appeal what you are 140 court. Sometimes even after paying the 140 it can take up to 15 weeks for you to get the next direction. And
15 weeks
up to maximum it can take
Wow.
up to 15 weeks.
Okay.
After the payment, even some of the payment receipts, when you look on it, the court will tell you, say, we'll give you the next direction, or you will hear from us within the next 15 weeks.
Okay.
They categorically state that on some of your payment receipt. So after you lodge the appeal, after you pay, then the next direction that comes to us. Say, okay, now we should provide contact details of the appellant, which is our client. So what we do is we provide the contact details, which is our firm. We are the representative, so we provide the representative contact details to the court. So from there, then the court will give Home Office another direction. Say, okay, Mr. So and so, and now Mr. Kusi, and now Mr. Sapo, and now Lord Mackenzie, appeal against. Okay, Mr. Weku Fripong, appeal.
Koku will be the judge. So
Okay.
Okay. No, I leave it to me. Oh, yeah, I leave it to me.
Okay.
The Lord Mackenzie,
and the judge.
I'll be the judge. Okay.
And Manyeti, I appeal against your decision, a Home Office decision.
Okay.
And see, here all the supporting documents.
Okay.
What they apply during the visa process and leave to enter or leave to remain process. You hear all these documents in your friend bundle.
Okay.
And who your appellants and the Home Office for your respondent and the court number my respondent direction to send their bundle a copy to the court and copy to your representative,
Okay.
which is Yang BWF solicitors.
Okay.
And after that, then the court will tell us, say, we are the representative. We should also prepare our bundle and our appellant skeleton argument, which they call ASA, appellant skeleton argument.
Okay.
We should get these things ready within 28 days within the time we receive the respondent's bundle.
Okay. Okay.
So
and it's this I was saying because there's a lot of work that goes into it.
So much work.
Yeah.
There's so much work that goes into it. So then we don't wait to receive a respondent's bundle before we start working on our bundle.
Okay.
So during the process of working on our bundle, be free appellant no, and I say ni sponsor say appellant no waha be free no. And as a sponsor, no, I be friend. And I sometimes the appellant is in Ghana because the entry clearance application. So appellant is in Ghana, but you be fresh sponsor. Now you take instruction to draft a witness statement. Witness statement is a very, very, very important evidence judges do rely on. And we don't just write it for them, we help them, but we take their own words from them to help them prepare their witness statements.
That's
right.
Oh.
That's right.
We should spend a day in the office of BWF solicitors. You will love what they do and you appreciate the fact that they work so tirelessly for you because we share preparation into the cases and the way every day the bundles, bundles, every day the bundles grow. I can't do it. They do very well. And the entire Mama and Lord Mackenzie, if you experience what he does with clients and how he handles them, you are in safe hands when it is that you go to BWF solicitors. And Mobi Amfatnani and BWF solicitors. Lord Richard and Lord Mackenzie, yeah, the buyer questions also. Inti my tea, you ready? Me ba na ma betwa watum. But my mimi sa question ba ko ewo ha say me nya direction from the court through you. Say ene anachna on this particular date. You be quarter. What do I need to do? Or once we're taking it up and I leave everything with you.
Okay. Yeah, once appellant skeleton argument is gone, appellant's bundle, everything is gone. The copy goes to the court and copy goes to home office, presenting also your friend Hopo, home office presenting officer and see you send it BBR court. You don't have to do anything, you just wait patiently for the hearing date. So before the hearing date, there are other directions before the hearing date. Okay. What happens is sometimes the courts can write to us. I say, when we sent our bundle, they received, and the home office to send the bundle, they receive it. When they look at the bundle, look at our bundle, which is a supporting document, look at the home office, they could spot something, say, no, let's speak to home office for them to review their decision. And say sometimes we can have a letter from the court. I said they want to set a case management review for this particular matter.
Okay.
I said they'll write to home office and tell them, say, we said this date, write to us, so they said this day for case management review. Number one, case management can depend on two things. Home office, the court has given home office a direction to fulfill, but they did not. They failed to comply. Or sometimes it can come to the law firm or a firm which they have not done, which is a compliance issue. So they can call you and ask for the whole case management review to resolve that discrepancy there. Again, the court can discuss with the home office, say, review your decision. Because as we go through all this, the appellant should have been given the visa. So do you want to review your decision so that we don't go for final hearing?
Okay.
Home office can be adamant sometimes and say, no, baby, I review decision, change it, and I society and court. Then before the judge can set a final hearing date.
Okay. All right. Well, you are in safe hands. When it comes to BWF solicitors, they be American, and I won't give any excuse. I am very subjective. Per success, 95 to 99% success. Appeals, maybe Uncle Ben Emma, say appeals are alcohol, you're granting 50%, and 90% of the 50% is coming from BWF solicitors. And that's a fact. The records are there to show. And when the answer when BWF solicitors, EBD and Como 0208 493 7380, now 077 127 61884. Where you Monday to Friday, a free anopa 9:30, Ekosi and Numere 6 o'clock. Yeah, we see every as to say yes, sign and they will bio na sabri mu de mene na manyete and babe she abom na fi Lawyer Richard and so aji yen questions no na fi we ano ade amay na
hello
otre
Adum Grace
Adum Grace and my school pa ma Lawyer Richard and Lord Mackenzie actually and so does it really answer questions and concerns of the war?
Bebree. And sorry, it's here for me. The kind of teacher, when you know, I show for. Well, she be a that's it, and I'm a so you real cool. Answer be brain. Na ade ba kwa me di kan aka. O can say can say da ye de worry ye no. And they important. Na me so metina ho dwen ho pa say. So we person celebrate or worry anniversary. Enye da na mo ko register ye no. Da na aware ni take place no. Saa date na mo boto say da say ni da say tina ni kwaku ware ye. And then yeah celebration. So in that case, no, I say near Lawyer Richie, a kind and we demo. Internet for say unim pass say fall into that category now. Our idea yet me why corner why now you celebrated that date now hope so ultimacy. You more questions they are doors so now you and some any dating. Main content because the entire ekopa Lawyer Richie mami bi si ne mma odi omo aba na baako ye 19 o ye uni na baako ye 18 mse 17 afi no benya 18 na omo ba ye nche omo pese omo ko school na so ye nim se kromo ha de ubeko school na ubetia home fee you have to be here 3 years. Meanwhile, we must see nkwala umaba. Bani mamini de watna ha wa ye dwuma sa over 3 years no. Se bani se omo be ko school na omo kwaji home student fee na ombe qualify ana say omo ntumi and depending on omo maame no say omo maame na atna ha 3 years until they qualify pacho.
Well, thank you, Tina. I mean, so I'm saying, and judge, no, also more baroness, so baroness Tina. Now, yeah, one answer question from the starting, and they said, I'm say EU national, yeah, can I say, yeah, as you say, we all have for more than 5 years, and typically, no, when you're indefinitely, why a settlement scheme. Saving onya crown all 5 years, and then the mayor Babako 19, Bako 18. I suspect that or more 5 years residence.
When a fee no maba.
Okay. The family permit na buy. So EU
family permit EUSS.
So in the end, you know, benya 5 years leave to remain. So the mame
okay.
So person go school well, from 18 and 19. I also go school and the normal be 19 be university 18 be college. The local university no. And now say we can kai no what UK has an onion 3 years in it no. So we call university and also or shows that obetime tua ni fees no. Why? Because so we krom hanum now share student finance regulations now. I said the first day before the start of your course, you should have been habitually resident in the UK for the past 3 years.
3 years, okay.
So whether now the representative want taking note from this and say, so we're a British citizen, not say we need UK for the last 3 years. Now person university, you will not be a home student. It doesn't matter. Wow. So sometimes your name say yeah, mistake say me work me work indefinite leave, me a EU national, me a British citizen. As long as, although we legal, or indefinite leave or 5 years, and the normal circumstance, for 3 years, let's move things forward. And more phrase, more 5 years leave to remain, not 4 years time. The already 19% called university. Well, have them for more than 3 years. Or you bet classified as home student, or bet many funding the grant to the BBR. Because we were having for 3 years, although when you settled, but under EU regulations, you know, and I'm saying, "Mammy, secure the right to have near man leave to remain under the appendix EU needs, you know, or qualify for student finance. Now, we're to qualify for all the grants if we meet the habitual residence test. You know. It is a CAI can say there, unfortunately, you know, for university, but over college and your college funding. There's difference between college and secondary school and primary school. The support they will get and university. University is on its own individual.
Right.
And to me, but so I'm from Baha. We share Education Act in 1996 now. Obia was said or before you below 16 bia must go to school. Em say sometimes midway bam. Ya na yekofa ye nana ne man ba ha. Ya dream say bi kra omuni krata nti won't me go school ba cho. For school the immigration someone come.
Okay.
University na immigration someone bam. Even college go with my course, so when you you can go to college. With me grant be or be, but university there for you to qualify for the grants and be classified as home student or international student, you should have been here, 3 years before the start of the course in order to because as home student and also get the grants.
I see. Wow, and yet or more quite na college the only to me talk of college, Ovinso can say. Onyini pi inti no opeso okuji indefinite. Na brofo kasa no eni sa English test no. Oye mami but undu sa age na
65.
Undu hokra. I think she's around 40 to 45 for. Now so school you wan kodu fie. Mene ni di nkomo brofo te ase ani come go. Because onene nananom into most of the time no or cook room near the idea only obi kan ho chese ono ankasa no apart from enwumre kra yanko ikita iki ni akoye edwuma ba no onhyada ne because on take we so ne time aso so cultural English test no or the abeda meja me na me say o person cultural English test bra na me coach you na me nchiro ne obeye into waba na mama nti apart from go and come kwan bi wo ho a obetumi ya exempt no wo sa de we ho.
Yes, and it depends. Me wo obi ba be home Wednesday on similar issue.
Okay.
No 2.5 and so we the fourth one now qualify actually last year, but because of only English, and the life in the UK internet almost have another 2.5. You see, the problem is so sometimes people say, "I'm English, life in the UK now." Then they may then more 2.5 because the requirement for you to be able to get indefinite leave to remain one and say overpass English language at level B1 and the life in the UK test. Me patrol say only over 65 years and now below 18.
Yes.
Na say 1 year. Yare so yare but the be more life ma
okay
doctor bit me amma evidence say won't me and sure at the end of the day you must do in this case na anti the beboa and they say the obe human advice of the man and they say and son oba no so okache me say won't me over you refia there until they say onko na GP honum na omutimi confirm say what was our problem na enti omon me printed your exempt form or obetima complete so that you don't have to do the English and the life in the UK. If a practitioner, a consultant certifies say you'll be because of a name be a course of life won't mean sure whether physical or mental then you can be exempted from doing the anti GP. Now we find the problem and so much me mano letter and confirm say and yeah this is English obey me and life now. The previous one I'm here or the coin naturalization. Let me say auntie or my Facebook and is with me auntie me do the any example. Or the or okay or can English be come but on to me for more than 5 minutes. But then the test near then is also tenacity no computer then more than that about 15 minutes.
And life in the UK yes.
And for instance when names our computer then I'm she can sit down for that long. The GP say although there's no problem with the mind or thinking or mental physically on to maintenance and na honso nya so mema na bed or hon na what me the other hold no the laptop because of that you're certified say on to maintenance and sure omo etiase nationality people no omo kra na omo ha been say indefinite for but omo te I say because of you international didn't have to do the English and then got indefinite permanent residence going for naturalization trouble and so it means sa doctor certificate na for her no that is the only way obet me I go around the life in the UK and the English.
Very common cause you and your questions need be send ye did die me any you no cry that me but the main can come back. you for your mobile, you can say, just around my friends, so they do Krumu 23rd of June.
Yeah.
Ni maame o se ni papa ne kofa ne bae. Enti waba no now ofra me nam kwan so ya obeden nya enai. Na wa se ana me ka bi kiro mo a ayese ja me nya lawyer enti no o se o de ko bisa lawyer enti mo a mo hwe me ni bisa lawyer. O se one obeden nya enai. 2 esa yiyo preset on obeden aye or see or start say or call online but no man na aye bisa no sa go.gov na bisa no otumo say on tiasie enti bibisa no also be hu lawyer now no ankasa because on shade hu exactly what to do then obey answer na waye okay onkoye ye kan say back on entry. I hope so.
Yes, I mean, first of all, I would advocate for my services to be, patronized.
Okay.
Although, say, yes, if you are competent enough, you can actually the EU settlement scheme. And I'm saying, so by June,
yes,
I suppose I'm sure the family permits in our baby room across. And commit me or no bit me. But said I can say, and I'm say after the deadline dating, all the questions in the baby I become. So I'm sure not a mistake.
It's true.
Just I made advice and so the own lawyer. And expensive beers na yen man because I was also sure say although say not only Chromoha before deadline date or no Hanum before deadline date then in a 1 year application. That is
okay.
one point.
Yes.
Another point is to say also open NI or Bahanum June. You says so Bahanum after April you have 3 months, only 3 months to do the application.
Okay.
It's not when your family parent will expire. 3 months into June, July, next month 1 year. Or illegal. And Oma will be supporting in 1 year because of the fact that no had June. Now say yeah, but July, now 1 year, there should be a reason why he or she did not put that through. In relation to N9, so settlement scheme application, and now it generates a 3434 number no manner. Now a free N9 phone, which we call online. No application. No one said. Now, so no more interview, I'm so master video phone ones. The cuts are long wait system. No problem with N9, but so more try some very remedy situation. N9 because on your application because N9 application the reference number so why EU settlement scheme application now. So that one first and then the N9 second. And then the any problem. It was a self-explanatory.
Case closed.
Now, city, and try now, share our Facebook page and also so kakra na yemfa questions no be emra. Lawyer, we say or your dependent application last year August. The decision came in February this year, and you refuse to be found out where now. Can I go ahead with the proxy marriage since I've been refused before?
Okay, so February.
Or yeah, family dependent application last year August, and a decision about February this year, and you refuse soon. The uncle is nowhere to be found.
Okay, so once now my colleague Mark any didn't come on. Yeah, the baby bam say what be a strategy. But the only problem with this gentleman is we're extended family member. Now, so we quarter. Now we challenge it. I suppose the reason for refusal would have been dependency because normally, so we extended family member and refuse and either say omunji relationship into, but so we DNA that would have been overcome. The second test to overcome would have been the dependency, which would the name of say omunye satisfy so we are dependent. Into so we courts now we can once much judge so we are dependent into yamfa asset na judge ora me pacho wa se papa ya also dependent on so we ni ho judge na sembe
no work
on say make us no me were a very lovely case be you deciding on this week me share with Fatiful and no ya aware different from adult dependence is a dependence semna yeka. Dependence in it. Any pan or your sponsor. So when you are you are nobody. You are it's cut. The root is just cut off. So you can't function. And it's an uncle now, your sponsor no is nowhere to be found. And then he would also be nowhere to be found in court, unfortunately. Because Senkaya warrior dear, we would always have other means a bit go about because your cases very rare. Sponsors and uncle, there could be a good reason. They are fighting. So he said he won't come. Yeah, a judge will understand, but with a nephew who is dependent on an uncle
and uncle is
and they've done application and probably they've refused it because they are not satisfied that you are dependent on your uncle and you go into court and your uncle is nowhere to be found. There is no case to answer. So me pacho shusha uncle. So one dear, where a good case there again tactical on papers. Now me can just one control statements and send the uncle. But you know what I'm talking about. Into orbit my on papers. Now what send the documents now because as maybe no evidence or the applications will depend on the uncle. So on papers all the evidence in the actual witness system. No argument. Mr. Mackenzie ball skeleton argument so and only a barrister and court as small back judge. So you don't want to go there because when you want to man physical, but a barrister can write a skeleton argument with the fact say because Papa no senka won sponsor one one application in the first place. So appeal ni wona won huni bema na o court na unya no man revert to paper application. That is a good example of what we discussed earlier. Okay. Now what the name call, 50-50. Who knows?
Who knows? It could happen for you. Okay. I mean, for another question, we say, another long one, but okay. Good evening, lawyer. Please, my question is, I did marriage with EU man in July 2020, submitted the application and went to do my fingerprint in October 2020. My application was refused in November because the lawyer uploaded wrong payslip. I did another application in May with the same man's document, but later canceled the appointment for fingerprints because the man's settlement application was refused. Reason being that the document he submitted has been reported to be a lost document. So he should send them more proof. Okay, every screen so my question is, can I do another marriage and backdate it? Looking at the situation concerning the fact of service say that. So I never couldn't you.
Right. So I'm breaking it down. So I did marry an EU man in July 2020 and was submitting an application. A fingerprint, but the sponsor application has been refused because of it's an idea there. Right, has been reported.
Lost document. Yeah.
Okay. We have to immigration asam in this case. Okay. I mean our the now ultimately is after 1 year. Technically, because your matrimonial contract 73 was ultimate worry for 1 year, and about my legal separation. For immigration purposes, say me a jaya worry for there's no problem with that. I mean, we have moral and we have legal. So what worry and now I go for no divorce certificates. Now I say sure before my worry as a new application. But me pacho Sajebi Honma, oh yeah, say it will raise suspicion. And then all of a sudden, we application I say you refuse because of sponsor no ID has been reported lost or stolen. We are no Saturday another EU
the application.
But it's just but that does not mean say your case cannot succeed because there could be a reason why. Let me give you one example. So my minua by Obehumia, dear and Koma bit say, now there has been a domestic abuse in the relationship. Inti papa no pese o punishing no inti what the name ama no o ma ware why an application what the application you call no offer extra report ama crow no office be a French national no catch the embassy said the card no and the passport are knowing very well that the wife has used that ID to apply. Therefore the application will be refused so that they would she will be deported or removed from the UK. As a lawyer, I can make a submission that my client has suffered domestic abuse, and therefore, an example is the fact that this same man who gave her the ID to apply has reported the card lost or stolen. That is evidence. What is one evidence of domestic abuse?
Wow.
There's no interview because she cannot even find this man. He left home. So everything points to the fact that there has been an abuse, and therefore, so I would really pursue this to the end and go to court and see what will happen. Afterwards, you can marry somebody else.
Okay. Yeah, no, I don't know. Every
Mighty, sorry. Now, okay, baby.
yeah, na me ka ya na I don't know. Yeah, na be break sa me wo case bi sa or say be man is on fa documents on signed divorce paper on so on fee into no. Meanwhile, mama so nya obema opeso ware na de na ye case.
We can dispense with service. We can make an argument to a family judge that so you've petitioned for divorce and then the man won't respond. You can say you've done whatever you've done. I mean, if it's not a contention, you can ask for the court to dispense with service and then move on with your divorce.
Lawyer, Kakrakaba could be Ewaha. I've just heard Lawyer Richie say an illegal person can go to college in the UK and qualify for aid. Please, when did this come into effect? Because last year, a friend had to forfeit his college because he's got limited leave to remain. Student finance refused to fund his course. Can you have a topic about this subject?
Well, I mean, you see, when we say something,
Okay.
so when you go to the Education Act, it did not mention your immigration status. Okay, so you can go to, so they want to see your ID. Your ID is your passport. If you are below 16, you need consent of your parent or your guardian. So we call Hackney College and also we call Peckham College and Pacho, you better show immigration status. You see, sometimes you should understand that there is the law and there is the people you are meeting and how they will receive you. As some can Emran say, Anka, who college, and answer who call secondary school, you show immigration status. But depending on, because they know, so by now skin yet to know, or person who say, oh, assistant in our school, although say, we every college they will say, well, our policy, we have to make sure that you are not illegal in the country.
Yes.
Depending on your age, so you're over 16 now, they can check your immigration status. We are talking about Education Act that will place you under 16. Because 16 for college. My daughter or also over 6 form on college. It is or illegal no college and can go busan an immigration status. Yeah, be fun. But baby, I want area now one so they want to see your immigration status. But your age now. So you're over 16 there, they want to know how you are here.
Okay. Would it be provocative to ask our lawyer for a copy of your application and all the cover letters?
What will it be
provocative
to ask your lawyer for a copy of your application? Okay, so maybe so we should solicitors lawyer Juma and you might boy home and you say so you BWF solicitors as an example. Abibia will take your principal or cassette the Oba na application mawa. You best send a copy of the cover letter. The application form we completed is your property. So it's your intellectual property. Is because that is so the contracts between us, the retainership, and they say, I did be a baby and also a mouth copy. So lawyer and oversight. Until a young farmer ask, it's within your rights to get everything about your application. Please, Intim Pacho, and you're
provocative. But for crying, not
right. So, because now when you copy of the application in the future, because your immigration history, how would you know? So then or cancel you won't know. So please get everything, including the cover letter. When I joined BWF Solicitors, one issue that I couldn't work out my head on was to ask my principal. So say, why are we sending the cover letters to them because that is all that we have. That's our law. They will go to but we have to do, unfortunately, because SRA requirements, everything, the code, we have to. So although it's your hard work, doing all the research and putting all the law, you have to give it to them.
I dream no cry.
Say, I make a say. Me, you know, my wife's younger sister, or no, is a pocket lawyer because application me my wife gets one. Cover letters I'm chewing now, only in a copy, you know. So, so say, okay, you know, you have to do it, and it's helping me. And so we are all right. Say, Onya, me copy of the application and the cover letter.
Okay, Breno, but and let me concentrating more on your comments in the ideas about also by Henry Vlad Norte. British citizen and gives birth outside the UK. Will my child be automatically be British? If so, please, can I apply for a British passport at the country of my child's birth? Is it really coming home?
Vlad, I'm saying, me who say West Africa word, walk home, me fashion man. And then
what's that?
He's a lovely man. Yeah, Vlad, yes. So we had section 1 of the British Nationality Act in 1981 now. As it said, you were abofra, whether I will Krumha and I said outside. Now one of the parents since 2006. First time I am but after 2006, you see papa no so a British with me abofra British citizen. It doesn't matter. First, you know, the nanka a complicated kakra. Into the obey passport application. The problem with the passport application, overseas passport application, is the duration you will get a passport. It's as if you want to get a gold. It will take you 1 year, no more issue passport. So what we normally do is that because the child is British, we will prove that and apply for right of abode. And then Madam Lady Eunice, Kasafa right of abode, right of abode, you know, and say. And I'm saying Abofreya Yawo no Ghana, ne papa British citizen at the date of birth, you know, into section 1 of the 81 Act, and say Abofreya British, you know, obetime apply for right of abode. That is doing a Ghana passport for the child, going to the British High Commission, putting the application, near the stamp upon the Ghana passport, you know, say Abofreya British, but only passport. Therefore, Mumfa Bibi Mumuna owns me from Bra, UK, Obaha, no abet in the passport, and then you're quicker because all your passport application now. Back and forth, almost a year over. Not on issue. I don't know why they are like that. The child is British, but to come here quick, you know, but the child is British, no doubt about it.
This one is for Lord Mackenzie. Jennifer, a champion, the right able assistant of Lord Mackenzie. Hey. My soon able lady, a champion. Auntie V, thank you very much for your contribution. Now, person the Dodge, but me too. Lawrence, but I have a question. We will say, Nipode, by obetini, application, or say, I'm asking if I do a family dependent application and it has been refused for more than 6 months. Now, can I do a different application, which is the proxy marriage EEA spousal application?
Of course, that is a different application. So you were dependent on your EEA national family member, and I was sure number. But then again, the timing will come into play.
Okay.
Because once we application is 6 months ago. Now let's work something out. Technicalities. We our application maybe I refusing recently. Now I don't know worry EU national because we are in July. We our application maybe November or whatever. Application say maybe our now also worry August and I said June or July 2020. And then our application also in December as extended family members whilst you were married and had the right to apply as a family member. Because time because you know, and I'm saying not an application so worry you could have withdraw the application and put it because you know. But obitman excuse well, not me so I thought that once I've applied, I should wait to get that decision. But as soon as I put that application in, then we did 2 weeks time I'm married. But I was waiting to see what will happen with this. So options. Yeah, these are the weaknesses of your case, and they said they might think that Senkanawa Ampa in last year and Kawonfa extended family member application and also with my say, well, me did 2 years and me worry, but now me chance me who decision and sana. Fair enough, it's your word against your word. Although yes, obey me our EU national, but I also was an hour in last year. You go past 30th of June. Also, no reason why or your application after the deadline date, and then it's possible.
Yeah, say open strategy, open the best advice. Open say anyama everything you have to do now or they need extra BWF solicitors. BWF solicitors Monday and Pebia or more MI BBI bitimi a day aboyan tomorrow na happy yes ya who say and rano any idea 80. Now it is something we call the legal nuggets. Now I know and ya ba na ya be boss na ya the amount no who senia esi atie nti ene yen nuggets no we dey me twe free na domain na metrumika abosisia. But when we come back after that, we'll be looking at our quiz for the day. Young quiz no a day and a year can a home asem and question no to platform no so earlier on. And indeed, Omodi answer Ubehunu say quiz question no a babetoso na utimi ya noa na watch me say oyoga. And yes, Hadia, I'll drill you. But my main copy me nuggets no na main fa mrew na the medicain bis where's my nugget for the day? Okay, I mean kofa emra me kofa no quickly a free young system no more a day aba na enoni or say UK immigration rules provide for adult dependent relatives to be granted visa to join their family in the UK if they are unable, even with the practical and financial help of their family member in the UK, to obtain the required level of care in the country where they are living, because it is not available and there's no person, close relative, home help, housekeeper, nurse, carer, care or nursing home in the country who can reasonably provide it, or because it is not affordable. To succeed, the applicant must prove that their physical condition meets threshold of requiring long-term personal care to perform everyday tasks. It is always good practice to support the application with medical and other evidence. This is a case quoted, that is Mobeen versus Secretary of State for the Department, 2021, very fresh case, EWCA CIV 886. That is the 14th of June, 2021.
Wow.
But my manager was speak English.
Well, I mean, we've been talking about adult dependence for some time now, and it's one area that is very, very difficult, especially to lawyers. I mean, if you are here, when we talk about adult dependence in this regard, we are talking about immigration rules, not EU law. So let's get the facts correct. So EU law, you could bring your father, your mother, your parents here, no problems at all. Once you can show that indeed they are your parents and they don't depend on you until 30th of June, because the dependency was assumed. But since 30th of June, you have to show that they depend on you. Now, in this case, because it's immigration rules, because what we are talking about is somebody who has indefinite leave to remain. So that's in the immigration rules. Now, the case law you mentioned set a threshold to meet. All that we are saying is that in order for you to bring your adult dependent to the UK here, or if he or she is here with you, you have to show that the person needs your care to function. Everyday function is, we can define that as somebody who, personal care, so brushing her teeth, bathing, eating. If somebody would have to support you to eat, actually feed you, that is the level. It's a very, very high threshold to meet, and therefore it's always not as if anyone can meet that. We call it the impossible immigration requirement. Having said that, if in this case we can show that the parent or the adult dependent, if you read the scenario, well, since she's been here in the UK, she's able to look after herself by even helping the grandchildren.
Okay.
The grandchildren are there. Yeah. So if she's able to help, the children that are in the family, then why would she need care from somebody else?
I see.
And because of that, she will not be able to meet the threshold to succeed with adult dependent application. Before the concession from Home Office about once you are here you can switch and apply, she could have been expected to go back to her home country to apply and come, because you can't apply from the UK. You have to apply from outside the UK to come as an adult dependent. So in this case, I mean, well, we're gonna put it to audience to give us the answer, but the explanation.
Me question by you. Where you not get to that?
Yeah. So that is the explanation.
Okay, then let me go and bring out the question.
I hope I haven't given too much away. So
no, I hope so. Because yes, be a smart. Okay, now let me be my teacher self, and I'll go to the question. You very interesting. I told you smarter. You use the BWF strategy. Ajo, an 89-year-old Ghanaian school teacher who suffered from arthritis, depression, and high blood pressure, came to visit their 3 British children here in the UK in 2014. Okay? Whilst here, she had help with support with shopping, cooking, and private healthcare, but otherwise, she essentially looked after herself. She helped with childcare for her grandson. Her children could afford to house her in Ghana and provide her with care assistance. She made an application as an adult dependent relative for indefinite leave to remain. Okay, here's scenario review. Mami, we're 89 years. No, a school teacher, Ghana. Na person, we know. Shadema, the beer, no dear bobo depression. High blood pressure, binina. And or buy ebestra, Nema means Amoya British, about 2014. Or Hano, shopping the man, no man, private health care, no. But otherwise, she essentially looked after herself, even though she was having help from her 2 children. Or more with child care. Her children could afford to house her in Ghana and provide her with care assistance. Okay. Or your application as an adult dependent relative for indefinite leave to remain. Nemani are British. What is likely to be the outcome? Was the likely outcome of the but lawyer for no trouble for Mpacho and kind of differently because Ibia was such or can end Nina Bia when in the intia what camera for no what we had no the main kind of question is saying sit here now because there's a reason. What is likely to be the outcome of her application? 1. Granted indefinite leave because she is a dependent relative needing help. Yabama indefinitely because obia ojina ne manoso na ohiam wanso. Number 2, granted in limited leave because her children are all British citizens. You see, yabama 2.5, no. As a parent. Number 3, refused because she doesn't meet the threshold of requiring long-term personal care to perform everyday tasks. Also, case you say, yeah, shopping money, you know, do money, yeah, or money healthcare, but otherwise, she essentially looked after herself. Does it make any? Okay. Number 4, granted indefinite leave because she doesn't have any family in Ghana. Okay, so I say, the children could afford to house her in Ghana. Does it ring a bell? Or none of the above? I was for we mean can share lawyer Rich so Yano Cecilia, but I'm waiting for your answers. Pam pam padam. Okay. If you more. Oh, my teacher here no apart. Okay, yeah, maybe I'll say, maybe I'll just simply point essay number 3. Refuse because she doesn't meet the threshold of requiring long-term personal care to perform everyday tasks. And no, yeah, maybe I'll do, I don't know. Frank Charles is saying number 3. And no, maybe I'll do any. Okay, Mabel is doing something very interesting here. I answered 2 days ago. I need an award, please. Now, 2 days ago, me my answer, I'm here normal. But if you get to try it, I'll get you an award. I'm going to get several souvenirs from BWF. But when you'll be online, also, I'm call Emma. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
May a quick question with Mr. Lawyer.
What quick question, Mr. Lawyer?
Pardon.
Yeah, me question when you know. Why? Okay, but you be a lawyer question.
If I chose Obi Wali Fancy Union as a beer situation now, Fancy and challenges now, could be a not the manual. Mostly be retention of right and maybe be this. For example, we be on Nipanata Fancy beer more than 2 years. Maybe first of all, a pram infants of worrying on not more than 1 year, a one in a worry and 1 year bear trip. And that also be a monsoon of you so on any time and Casa as a partner on Fancy beer. 2 years of ground ones abba. And then a brown fans and as a trans, Yana trans, no, so pro 1 year. If I do business as a bassy or no ban and take or an amtawanta will be a cause of a bit me affecting as a channel.
Yes, so the answer is yes, a bit may affect as it's unless there has been some intervening events, domestic abuse. And in case now because I may share with a telephone is any asima will be saying. I'm so recently na yema maybe be home na wawari EU national na why an application come on yes one interview papa no say uncle okay and I'm say I didn't know papa no say uncle no say well I mean papa no dey worry and problems society I into na application I delay na finally no all agree say obey application na man no what they got 2 months and some domestic abuse definition has been widened to include financial pressure, coercion. So all those are evidence that was of a DV. Although say papa no finance and canon, and never be brave or akoso a show domestic abuse. Now, me catch a home office for say interview na or more invitation or more my client is willing to attend the interview, but without the sponsor because interview, for and then the caseworker emailed back to say that can we provide evidence as to why the partner a domestic abuse. So I made a submission that we don't have physical evidence like police report or anything because she specifically asked for GP report to see whether there has been any depression. And I said she hasn't got a GP because the man has not even the man has made sure that she doesn't even register for a GP. That go ahead thinking that truly this woman might have experience because if you are in the UK and you don't even have a GP as a woman, to do all your tests and all that. That has been successful. So the interview was cancelled, and then the next 2 days the letter I received was, can I put everything, because we spoke on the phone, in writing as a submission and send it to her? I did that, and then as soon as she received the submission, 2 hours time, she granted it.
Wow.
In this case, my brother, who question and said, under EU law, the first, nanka, BB anywhere, it just says, so who are now lasted for 3 years, that if we 10 rights now. That's our any go. What is you rights and the But with the advent of EU, appendix EU, the immigration rule section na a woho say, so who are a British citizen, na yama krata as a partner, not there has been domestic abuse, which me application more indefinitely. Omo be a best appendix EU numa. So which me demonstrate say you have suffered domestic abuse as a person who is married to an EU relevant person. Obetimi say what's the end, what's the amount was it, but our arena and in my enquiry. Please, there are two things you can do. Is either you can keep quiet and keep your marriage marriage certificate and toho, okay? Manin da baby. Na 3 years enchum. Na ubetmeja mama, okay? Unye jana wa retain rights and the only in until 5 years from the date of marriage in the son no akwa indefinitely leave without needing your spouse's anything from her. That is one. Sense of mama no very, very, very crafty. Now one person or go away no more to my petition for divorce. Whilst I want him some more and lasted for 3 years. So yes, I didn't know your man divorce certificate or cratanase. Because one retain rights, and I also saw one but said if the divorce predates your application for domestic abuse, you are almost certain to fail because you're renting our domestic abuse happening. Unless the one that we did, that we are still waiting, we have a way. But into case in the patrol, 2 options. Obeying also 2 years something, Nanka 3 years about. Now if you want to cancel marriage, 3 years never no one shower anymore. You are still under her spell. The way you be a crater unless why divorce. Okay? It is a 3 years never no shower anymore. We are independent.
Okay.
So 3 years now, so how are you patrol? So the man can be and 5 years from the marriage, and man indifferent. And yes, idea you can go for DV application so that Home Office will be aware. Say a DV until I work on my mama no air disturbable. Okay.
Okay, me patrol in the few minutes on about some brother start
marriage.
Ariana say bra was starting in the time and I say bra was it not by.
Okay, so the return rights requirements, and they said the date of marriage into February 2018, you almost certainly have, overcome the 3-year marriage requirement. Now, what you said, when it's not at least for 1 year, into my example, you have found a more year marriage certificate to Ghana, most more 2017, but over UK last year. You remember, with me, Mameno Warrior Ghana 2017. And I feel our visa no when your family permit now by last year. So it me show say over UK 1 year about although say what were UK for only 1 year, but you can see that your marriage has lasted for 3 years. The only requirement that is crucial in your case will be to have been with her in the UK for 1 year. Therefore, you can cancel the marriage. Until you say our data about once you can get 1 year resident in the UK with the spouse and can get 3 years backwards when the marriage was contracted, obey me, I cancel marriage. Okay.
Okay, so in this case, for example, only not time vans only not be 2 years and over, maybe our maybe vans the 2 years, fine. Then I thought to be a month, was I a bassa montama, massa and grow montama.
Then you don't have a problem at all, because nobody would be thinking of within marriage of convenience. But so, worry, let's calculate your case here.
2018.
So we don't have a problem. So my brother, but
if 2019 as well.
Oh
well, just work 3 years. My maths is not good. So 3 years from the date of marriage, you can divorce and retain your rights. Okay. If you have 3 years of marriage and 1 year of residence in the UK, but some person will be our area. You didn't 5 years back from data or entire UK now. So the family permit in the buyer, then you can go for indefinite.
Oh, so for example, what's it turn out in review the message be I'm fan say
if you came with a family permit. So by
Matthias,
okay.
Okay. Now,
but so in this case, it's not to be a fan.
Oh, why? Say depending. Chromanum about fry between BBI the wow and entity. Okay. BBI as I said benefit and answer craton.
No, ABF has already was back.
Oh, that's how bit have direct access to your children. And to say when my manager worry and say, well, your case you don't need any direct access immigration rules, which is expensive. you can keep your EEA leave to remain. Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
But what answer me goes in?
That's an easy.
Thank you for your contribution. That was for me were a couple of answers quickly. Now, lawyer war files na any no baby brave or I was okoye ehun adwuma. Answers ni biaba. Okay. Maybe I'll say answer 2 days ago, Mr. Mechana there, so Tradia. Frank Chow essay number 3. So answer so and me call Nanefia say number 5, none of the above. Or played it very safe. On passing the Sanya war Lydia Mensa say number 3. Lydia, are you sure? And in Koshe, another one, Yao Boachi Ajimai. The answer is number 1. Ezekiel Johnson, can you show the question again? Ezekiel. Okay, unwa. I mean, Famra, away. Because I was at my lawyer, okay. But question, no. Ajo is an 89-year-old Ghanaian school teacher who suffered from arthritis, depression, and high blood pressure. Came to visit her 3 children, British citizens, in the UK in 2014. But wow, friend, your time now soon. Whilst she here, she had help with shopping, cooking, and private health care. But otherwise, she essentially looked after herself. Ezekiel, once a day. And now we also abu pisa Fumu. Na I no and kind of say Fumu nothing.
It will be a trauma.
It will be a trauma. Okay. Henry Bloodnaughty refused because she doesn't meet the threshold if she can look after herself. Her children can afford to house her in Ghana. If not, she could be giving the entry clearance visa. Braco, please let me be smart and say the answer is surely in the one of the answers provided in the question. Henry, I don't like that. Do you fear something? Okay, lawyer. But yeah, answer every day.
So I mean, Judge,
and I'm going to confirm answer.
Sometimes I'm saying that the important is so let's see why it's not the other ones.
Okay.
Can we have this? So
let's see number 1. Granted indefinite leave because she is a dependent relative needing help.
So to explain that, social question is what is the likely? So what that means is that it could be any of them, but the most probable
one.
And
me reading that make catch will be answer. Careful because
she can be granted indefinitely. A good caseworker could say, I tried to. She needs the care but the most likely, answer. Into number 1, granted indefinitely because she's a dependent relative needing help. Just because you're a dependent relative who need help, it's not in itself enough to meet the threshold set because suddenly adult dependence, a requirement is very, very high. And you'll be almost bedridden. And that's it. So so Ghana, there is no family member of it me provided care. And now say the problem is, even though there is no family member in Ghana to provide that care that you need, sponsor even so she cannot pay anyone. So you can see that you can say, well, there's no family member. Well, you can pay somebody there to provide the care, and that is why it's almost impossible to meet, because how can you really able to show that there's nobody there, or even if you pay somebody, they can't provide the care? And it's number one may not be likely. Let me tell you, because her children are British citizens. Now, there again is a good one there, because question, I will say 89-year-old Ghanaian school teacher, the children. This word children is not children, it's her children. They are over because they have children. That is why we've talked about grandchildren. So we assume that they are not below 18. Because in community below 18, and I bet me another very correct answer. Say, you have a man and man, you have a man 2.5 because of my British our show. You see that, but assumption the year over 18. On to me, Jina, over 18, parents root and appendix FM.
Okay.
Now you call. Say you just on the next trouble. You call number 4, so independently because he doesn't have any family and nobody can carry and no one will not hold and no one will not.
None of the above and they too safe.
I'm saying principal him say none of above no idea then the quiz won't have any effect. So I suppose we won't have none of above as an answer.
Okay.
So then we are left with because threshold is too high that although she needs some sort of help or care, it's not that high that it cannot be provided somewhere else, and therefore the application will be refused.
So the answer is numero 3. Ezekiel Johnson played it very safe. Or see, she doesn't meet the threshold unless under EEA. Anyway, that's one very interesting. I really don't want to miss this quiz segment for all the gold out of Boas because explanation lawyer Richard Ade and my son, any other lawyer coming from BWF solicitors, there's ever Timmy and my explanation yate once. And until senior Tiano, Yami Aduma Monday, so the another one a beto. Now the clue I can give you is mostly the nugget we give will lead to the question. Into who nuggets na what me share the no afa because nugget ni addition ya day amount. You just so amount scenario there be so question. Yeah, your static case this scenario no buy so that when we say Uncle Ben, Uncle Richard, Auntie Eunice, and Uncle Charles, Lord Mackenzie, Lady Champong, Ajua, and Lawyer Patrick, and Beatrice. I saw no say Lady Champong very soon. Okay, and Auntie Eunice, Cynthia. Yes, that's the name I was looking for, Auntie Cynthia. And you were the Lord Chancellor, Mr. Forsen, the finance man.
Personal, Madam Diane.
And I think so. You were Mr. Ade. Mr. Ade make sure say we document to be a free BWF. Air efficacy mo say air court obe making sure say you can in album adequate. Then finally my madam Miss BWF during the office of her say okay what time is madam. Anyway, that is the family. It's so nice a family to be with and then my tea is also you see behind every successful man, there's an able woman.
That's right.
Now my tea. Thank you very much for your support. Laura, I think you did very round up and then I found more than 15 minutes, but summarize enough.
So 1 minute, my judge for today, 1 minute. So all that we are saying today to the community is that the EU applications are so open for you to be able to submit an application to under the Appendix EU settlement scheme. So there are two things I really want everybody to take note of. So number one, you must show that your relationship, whatever the relationship is, whether it's marriage, that is spouse, or you are a child, the relationship should have been formed or contracted before 31st of December 2020. That is one test. The other one is because there was a deadline date of 30th of June to apply to the EU settlement scheme. Therefore, if you are in the UK and you would want to put an application to the EU settlement scheme, it should have been done by then. But if for some reason you were unable to do that, just explain to the Home Office as to why you could not do it before the 30th. So if we put the two together, so now you can demonstrate that your relationship was formed before 31st. and you have a good reason why you did not put in the application to the EU settlement scheme before the deadline date 30th of June, you can do a new application. You can apply. That is the in-country application. On the other side, if you are an EU family member, EU national family member, and you are outside of the UK, and the relationship is, let's say, child or parent or whatever, as long as you remain a family member before 31st of December, you can apply. You don't have to meet the 30th deadline because that is not applicable to you. It's applicable to family members who are already in the UK. So family permits, bringing your parents, your children, your spouse, that's the marriage was contracted before 31st of December, you can still bring them to join you here in the UK. It's still open. The only problem we have is those who are already here that you must have formed the relationship before 31st of December, and the application should have been put in before June 30th. But if you were unable to do that and you have a good reason, you can still put in the application. That is what I want you to take with you from today's session, and I hope it will help. So please, those calling us, that's lawyer, can I ask you do EU marriage? Please, you don't do EU marriage. You marry somebody, but make sure your marriage was before 31st. And then tell me why you are now applying. We've given so many scenarios that could be used as a very good reason why you're applying late. And then we can help you with that. So this is what I will leave with you. I will thank my colleague, Lord Mark, very well. So well that one may appeals, because you say appeals, and delays now happening. Sometimes clients are frustrated. We can understand and we appreciate the fact that you have had that patience with us. Beyond our control. So the Mark can court on a set timetable. The logic appeal now is beyond our control. Everything is with the court. They are not court so catch and say, "Omono ya logic appeal normally challenge na come home office." Lawyer is say asema mudi no enkoye. Enti ye mama chance mo san hwe mu bi because you say ye case be free your system name. Can you change your decision or something? Omo come home omo nhwe na da ho for weeks. The court will always say, "Wow, we are waiting for Home Office to come with the review." You see, and no na manage. If you cram na fee cra say you bit come for notification be am and so me pam cho mo am appeal pending no. Munya and apotre kakra enye ya. Na de ba kwa am say obi a text me say don't forget lawyer Rich say this. Me pam cho mo EU residence cards. Whether 5 years or indefinite leave to remain, or no, you can permanent residence. Now, why your EU settlement scheme application? I can say you are granted. Why? So, say you have found two. More ya di amamo say the amount indefinite letter no, and I amount 5 years leave to remain letter no. O card new year is still valid. Please, that is the stance. Okay. Home Office says that. So I shall let no more bro now. What the world ready? I say ho. I say who card a valid. So it did not say whether it was a old one or new. Who card a valid. Application ya decided ya confirm with status no. Who card no I valid because of this settlement scheme na why. So you don't need a new card. But we can say another number which more must use card and so. Didn't say you can say money card and say. Yes, for your own peace of mind, in order for you not to be explaining yourself all the time to people, because they say if you know card be this purple lovely color, no, what then you pink. It's all the cultural bank in me and estate agent. I was say I say where they are and so I won't change the one now. What brand it? You're free to do a new card. I don't just say you are mandated to do the new card.
So once you have a valid card,
yes, it's most of more Ghana now. Meaning say. Madam Nikki Woods, we can't no program, so we say is advice to everybody. Miss Wood, you to know Mocas or Mama friend. Nakacho was a rich Nakasa. why your settlement scheme no confirmation no ntino o card na expire na your permanent residence no o de betimi etukwan e de akọ e de aba obi an hawadwe because it's valid because why EU settlement scheme so when ya and your card na expire that is the danger that's the difference into people sure no and I'm also so EEA family permit ye de ma wa wo man untimi fasa no emba. So why you appeal and now we application, we extended family member now is pending. You can make a decision. Because the lawyer would then say, yeah, extended family members in regulation 2016, I say regulation 8 into your EEA family permit. But as it stands, no home office for issue a B Emma will be anti and him say. So application pending now issue probably they will issue EUSS family permit as opposed to the EEA family permit and won't mean to come because they will not issue something that you cannot travel with. So appeal to a court, me pacho. Meaning say your court, your barristers, and we are instructing them to say to the judge that if we are successful, if our appeal is allowed, it should be EUSS granted to the appellant because EEA granted will be of no use.
Yes.
It makes sense. There's no way, say. Home office for no policy, but Moka said EUSS will not disadvantage anyone. It's more be worried. Everything is gonna be all right. EU law is still applicable. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Thank you very much, Lawyer. God bless you, Ma Misewa of Chesterfield. At the end of the Samsuso and Samuel Kumi at Japan. I'm watching live from Ghana. Tell Lawyer that God bless him so much for his good work he's doing. Samsuso and Vidal Mensah, thank you for supporting and putting your the details there. We are media. Okay, thank you. I take my two.
So what the Obi Sami Kumi at Japan? Do you know the secret behind this name? He is my designer. He is the brain behind the Arabian. So that's the one that was there. Sami Kumi.
Sami. Also be a mommy too. So my shout out to be. If I told the lawyer share the same size. Why? Thank you. Daniel Opon say one love. Thank you very much. So so and faster Emma was sharing a war PAMTV. So Pastor Augustine Amwaji, thank you very much for your support and the love for this program. Lawyer on one TV, what I say, senior patrol, you bet me the program. Of course, it's for the community, and we're all part of the community. Thank you very much, Pastor Augustine Abaji. God bless you. Sanso so and Abawa Radio, UK. Abawa Radio, at the audio version of this program, eto the radio, no so Sunday, and you may be at 7 p.m. UK time in T1 Shannon. So, and then as I call Emma, my Lord. Mackenzie said oba ade appeal ho share no ebre and so and abusian for BWF solicitors lawyers and staff and obi bia o yedwuma BWF bia eta dwumadi echi ema yedebro asadanso enko Emma, my special brother and resource person lawyer Richard Bodu Nkrumah RBN or your partner will BWF solicitors, and also to my able support and assistant and co-presenter na my tea. What to me if you see to so now take it important because she's so able and competent to do that. Umemfa Asadaman Sanso Sunasda and call Padmore Dudu for the aesthetics and the design and Sheila Ankra for the administrative bit and the promotion. Madam, and I think so as like I said, Uncle Emma, principal and executive producer of this program, Dr. Bernard Owusu. I was here, a friend of Ureku Owusu from and Medewusi. Yami Abduma, same time next week, we'll be meeting on this same wonderful platform, BWF Solicitors Facebook, BWF Solicitors YouTube, and all the other platforms. So, Pesawani and Dijume, Kwame Bia, so with me, Afre BWF Solicitors, 0208-493-7340. Yame ensure na onhwe also kosi se yebesan enya kwan asan ahia ebio.
Yeah. Jesus, you're my everything. Yeah. My everything is you, Lord. Yeah. oh. Everybody say, say, how can I express my gratitude? All the many things you've done for me. Words are not enough to say thank you. So Lord, you are my everything. You're my everything. How can I express my